So how are you guys doing today? Anything good going on? This one? Yes, this one. So yeah, we've got the last fragment and we're gonna start the ending. The culmination shall begin. Learning to take your own advice is the greatest strength of all. Ah yes, saying, it's gonna be fine, just give yourself time, and not giving yourself the time. The good old mistakes. Make them all the time. We all sit in the hotel, trying to relax. This might be the last time we get to do this. It's the real calm before the storm. Thankfully, we've made it this far without any hiccups, and tomorrow everything would come to an end. Hopefully, in our favor. But at this point, I have no idea. I can rest easy, however, knowing that all my friends have opened up. To anyone viewing my memories, I have no doubt you know we are good people. I do know you're good people. Everyone here knows you're good people. I can even say we are good people. Caught up in a bad situation. I've truly come to believe that we're doing the right thing. We may not destroy Argus, but they need a reality check. They can't have as tight of a grip on the world as they do. It's immoral. No shit, Delta. It is incredibly immoral, but what can we do? Well, Hermes can do something, not us necessarily. Cypher can rise up and be the first thread to the Thread? Yes, they're gonna be additional threads to the monopoly of Argus. No, they're gonna be a threat to the monopoly of Argus. I look forward to the world of progress and innovation. It sure beats what we have. But for now, I take a large swig of soda, enjoying the company of my friends. Friends, that's right. But now, we're also agents of Cypher. However, unwillingly.
This is gonna suck.
Very badly, huh?
It's gonna be cool, actually. I'll finally get to show you the full extent of my skills.
Oh?
Putting Chiron in the system.
What kind of
the
skills?
Full extent of your skills?
Not even close.
Oh boy. He only used a freaking fraction of his power. Like Shaggy. He's a Shaggy.
Now I'm scared.
Well, he's not Shaggy actually. He's fluffy. He's fluffy and clean and brushed.
Don't worry, Dante.
They freaking care for their fur so badly, now that I think about it. Holy hell, they are so shiny and nice and pretty. I never noticed this aspect, to be honest, thinking it's just kind of something I take for granted, you know? Because come on, furries have a big issue of having to take care of their fur and brush it literally every day.
I can't.
Or else they will become clumped up. A lot clumped
I
up.
have to wait until the time is right. A lot of this is on a need-to-know basis.
Alright?
Such a cliche line.
Oh well.
I know. I've always wanted to say it. Must have sounded so
Aw.
cool.
He's a true protagonist now that I think about it.
Sure, let's go with cool.
We're just kind of a side character at this point, you know? Kind of arriving with a clean slate. Coming into a cool story. Taylor looks worried. I can tell that the fear must be getting to him.
So, what do we do in the meantime?
We can hug each other.
Well,
That works.
tomorrow is gonna change everything. It's the last time we might get to do this.
Alright.
What do you mean by this?
We won't really know until tomorrow. It was kind of an abstract
Oh, dang it.
He just means the status quo is gonna change.
That is also true.
Hopefully for the better.
Yep.
Of course.
I actually
I
hope
have
it
this
gives
down
more
to a
freedom to
science.
Klace.
So how about we
As is,
celebrate instead
I
of worry?
don't think the whole image upkeep is something that really helps him. And the system is literally screwing him over, so you know.
Sure, makes sense to me. We want to look back on this as a happy time.
Maybe it's gonna give him, and to be precise, a lot of freedom.
Speaking of looking back,
Yes?
You talked to Delta too? I guess I wasn't the only one.
Oh,
We talked about what exactly?
the
everything.
past.
Oh, well, in that case, me too.
It's always important to look back before looking forward. Reminiscing is always important in the face of change.
It is.
Yeah, the past is always set in stone. It's comfortable and familiar.
Yes, it is. That's why we like to come back to the same taste of ice cream. Hello there, YY. How are you
You
doing?
know what they say, right? The safety of the past is the greatest treasure that we can never possess.
Somewhat, to a degree.
I guess Argus is aiming to change that.
Yes.
Just another way to keep us in line. Super cheap booze and a glorified dream machine.
Ah, living in a bliss, something that helps a lot in the current current life world. Wow. For some reason, I stumbled so badly here. Still, current world is just... Don't care about it. Try to freaking dream as much as possible and try to disconnect from it because the real world freaking sucks.
We're gonna put a dent
A
in that
lot.
plan, though. Without their monopoly, their control will be limited.
Oh, hell yeah.
I guess. But we'll always need the system. Competition only introduces lesser evils.
True. Still, better having lesser evil than people who can just do whatever the hell they want because they are hegemons.
At least there'd be options.
Exactly.
Artists can't keep things like this forever, right? If they have sole ownership, then they have sole control.
Unless it becomes a weird sort of monopoly like we've got here going on. So there is this one company, which is, funnily enough, it's a bakery. And it's a chain of bakeries. And basically, to my knowledge, all of them sell literally the same products under different names. Which basically leads me to believe that it's basically the same people taking care of it all under different names, just to not be accused of monopoly, you know? And that is incredibly screwed. It is incredibly scary and screwed, and I am surprised they are getting away with this.
I guess so.
Especially so well.
I mean, we might be able to take that control away from them, but at the end of the day, Komorebi trumps everything.
True.
We'll never be able to compete with a force like that.
Unless one of the
Especially when we don't
theories
even
becomes right,
understand.
and Komorebi is just something
think
that
we ever will?
is fabricated.
Doubtful. Especially when it's easier to just run and hide. This nostalgia technology is basically admitting defeat.
Reminds me of capitalism versus communism, where in ideal world communism everything is under one control. Well, this part here is dystopian, so that kind of checks out, you know, because communism kind of is dystopian as well, where everything is under surveillance and everything is controlled by the same people all
But
the
at
time.
end of the day,
Because it's
still
nepotism
a
as
new
well.
Technology.
There's a lot of
That's kind of
connections to the
exciting.
different
Look how stagnant
ideologies,
things have been.
so it's kind of natural in a way. Right, we've all become creatures of routine. I remember Isaac saying as much back when I first
What?
arrived.
Stagnancy goes hand in hand with control.
Did I actually misread that so
Can't
badly
wait
that
to
I
see
didn't
what
understand
happens
it?
when
What
we
the hell?
open the floodgates.
Embracing my metaphor, huh?
Yes.
Nice.
Isaac nods and smirks.
A race with one person is pretty boring, right? They have no reason to push themselves forward.
That is true.
Throw a few more people into the mix, things go haywire. If Cypher wins, then a lot more people will enter the fray.
Well, no matter what, I think Cypher will win. It's pretty much, we got this cat in the bag.
As for what they'll create,
Weirdly enough, I'm
I
not
see
in the bag. I should be in the bag right
unlimited
now, huh?
potential. Who knows? Maybe we'll even find a way to stop Komorebi.
That would be
You don't
nice.
think so?
That would be incredible.
I mean, I think anything is possible.
Kind of reminds
But
me
if
of
Komorebi
Blood of
benefits
Charlotte.
Argus, of course they'd want to keep it around.
Such an old
We
anime
won't
at this
really
point.
know what's
But so
possible
pretty.
Until more
Love
people
it.
get a say.
Charlotte is basically an anime about a group of teenagers where... how should I freaking summarize it? It's weird in general. The basic premise is that people around a certain age get superpowers, and they are usually imperfect superpowers. So, example being main hero, he gets a power of being able to swap bodies for 5 seconds. One of the side character gets super speed, but he can feel the speed. Like, he can break freaking bones and everything. If he runs through glass, he will break this glass and get freaking impaled by it by a lot. Like, he will get flashed and everything. And one of the other side characters basically, she can become invisible to only one person. It's not about the grip itself, but the drive to innovate. People usually innovate if there's competition, of
Put
course.
it like that, I'm kind of excited.
That's kind of natural thing to do. As long as the group has a drive as well, you
How do
know?
you stop visions of the future, though? Aren't you stuck with them, even if you defy them?
You destroy the future, simple as. Roll out the nukes. We remember talking about the... We remember about that one way back to the club. If you define your vision, you would still experience it all the time. In my mind, that changed the very nature of vision to begin with. What if they aren't visions of the future?
I'd have to ask you to elaborate.
Huh? Well, it's only the future from your
Who
perspective.
else's perspective is there?
Your future self.
Okay, now you're losing me.
To your future self, it would be a vision of your past. You only call it the future because of the side you're on right now.
I guess that makes sense. But what does it change?
Well, that just means it's one point in life, I guess. You plan to defy your visions and stay friends, right?
Ideally, yeah.
Then it won't always be a vision of future. Eventually, it will become a vision of alternate past.
Does that really change anything, though?
Kind of.
Yeah, it does.
How so?
Right now, we're trapped on one side of our visions, the side where we see it as our future and nothing else. Delta
Yes.
is right. When I live past the point in my vision, it'll just be an echo. Some weird memory of a past that never was.
Yeah, pretty much.
For some reason, I think that's comforting. I feel a bit more free when I think about it that way.
Aw, that's good.
I guess that's the power of perspective. Alternate lives is a pretty common theory, too.
Hmm?
Okay, so they're just visions then. Doesn't change how intrusive they are. I hate mine, no matter when it comes from.
It really sounds annoying. All of them sound incredibly
At least
annoying.
it might not come true.
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, this is starting to make my head hurt.
Good.
If it means I might not be on a colony in the future, then I'll take it. Any bit of hope is better than what I have.
Why didn't you have hope to begin with, though? Incoming complicated thoughts. Oh no.
What if we want our vision to come true, though?
Well, then you want to strive to make it happen.
I guess that's when this turns into a double-edged sword. Your comfort can just be someone else's worry.
Pretty much.
Where does the alternate past come from then? It feels way too real to just be a possibility.
But it still is a possibility. That's the question that the end of the conversation lingers on. Future or past? The vision had to come from somewhere. Another reality? Another timeline? Who knows? That's an interesting thing to think about, though. If Komorebi was the echo of another life, does that mean this was my first? I had no echo to witness, after all. Could this life just become the Komorebi of another me? Maybe another vision of me was witnessing this moment right now. In a hotel room with friends, about to infiltrate Argus HQ and oppose them. If that was the vision I had as a kid, I would probably do anything to oppose it. After all, I would see no merit in going against the power that basically governs the world. So, in this exact moment, I finally feel happy and content with my lack of vision. I truly live my life for me, not to avoid anything and not to pursue it either. Because if I had a vision, I might not even be here right now. But after everything I've experienced, I know one thing. This is where I was meant to be. And I got here with the ability to call all of my choices my own. I didn't follow a vision. No invisible hand guided me down this path. And hopefully one day, this kind of life would be the norm. And well, we weren't striving to go away from this path, so there's that as well. Before I start, Korean Komorebi was in colony, right? Oh, Kairon Komorebi, yes, he is in a colony. Nonetheless, wow. We can start the ending. Skadoosh.
Experience culmination.
Actually, no. Actually, let me do one simple thing here.